You have mentioned that building a system to referee matches the same way every single time. What does that system look like for you? And is it applicable for every um, referee?
Yep.
So what do you
So,
go through, right?
yeah. So yes, the referee, if you want to move up as a referee, you have to have systems in place. The reasons
Mhm.
you want to have systems in place are under pressure, you default to habit. The more stressful something is, the more likely you are to default to your habit. Just like if you train with an illegal grip, when you go to a tournament and you get stressed, you're going to
Yeah.
default to an illegal grip. So, as a referee, if you do things the same way every time, ideally the right way, but the
Hmm.
same every time, when you all of a sudden find yourself on the biggest arm wrestling stage in the world and there's all that stress, your default is your system. And it makes it easy. So, my system is when I walk to the table, you give them a couple of seconds to kind of negotiate. I'm
Uh-huh.
pretty much immediately saying knuckles, knuckles, because it's the biggest thing. Everybody wants to cover
Hmm.
knuckle. And you just start taking control. I also start touching the hands relatively quick.
Okay.
Not in a way to manipulate, but in a way to say, hey guys, I'm here. Like I'm controlling here. I'm in charge. We're here together. I want my presence known in a very direct but subtle way. I'm not
Hmm.
grabbing, I'm just reaching in and I'm starting to be part of what they're doing. Get that kind of settled a little bit. I hit knuckles, knuckles, knuckles. We get there. I always start with knuckles because it's where I start. For knuckles,
Hmm.
I go to shoulders. Shoulders, I go to wrists. Wrists, I go to go. But when I'm doing shoulders, I still got to do knuckles. When I'm doing wrists, I've still got to do shoulders and knuckles and elbows. And none of it stops, but that's how I go through it. So
I
you'll
see.
see me, if you really watch, you'll see me adjusting wrists, wrist, 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 shoulder, wrist, 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 knuckle, wrist, shoulder, shoulder, wrist, wrist, all at the same time. But you don't see me start with a wrist. You'll always, if you really watch, you'll see me talking about knuckles, hitting a shoulder, and then going to a wrist.
Why do you not start with the wrist?
Because it's the last thing. Straight
Is the
wrists are
last thing.
what you do before you say go. If I
Yeah,
get your
fair.
wrist perfectly straight and then I tell you your thumb,
Hmm.
you're gonna move your wrist.
True.
I do
True.
it the
That's a
most
good.
logical way to keep you in a good position so that we can say go.
I see.
Referee's grip, I do a referee's grip exactly the same every time. I get your hands together. First, before you start the referee's grip, I ask if you want over or under.
Over under.
How do you
Yeah.
want your thumb? So
Hmm.
I know that before I start. I don't ask in the middle of a referee's grip. I know before we start. I place your hands together for the webbing. I put my finger between your thumbs. I bring in your shoulder and I say, don't move. When the word don't move is said, that's when a referee grip starts.
Hmm.
From that point forward, you're risking a warning at East versus West or a foul in a turn. Shoulder here, don't move. I always start with the furthest shoulder away. So this furthest away. Do that, do this shoulder, then I pull the hands apart, bring them together so I have the webbing and the distance right. I do my thumbs. I always close the hand facing me first, and then the next hand. The reason I always do the hand facing me first is because no matter how many warnings, fouls, regrips we have to do in the referee's grip, I always know who's closed next because I always know where I started. So I don't have to wonder, okay, who did I close last time? Because I always do it the same.
And then when you forget something, for example, in the process, you default back to that. Yeah. All right.
Yep. So it's
Cool.
just a default mechanism.
Yeah.
Um, the other really, really good habit to get into as a referee is anytime there's a warning or a foul, you tell it to the competitors. So if you've got a warning and a foul, and your competitor has a foul, just fouled. You come back to the table. I'm going to go. You have one warning, one foul. You have one foul, and then I start. Keeps it
And then
straight
they
in my
know.
head. so I don't make a mistake. That's why I do it.
Uh-huh.
I don't do it so you as an arm wrestler know you have a foul. That's a huge benefit that I do that. I do it so I can keep track,
Uh,
right? I'm the one that has to remember everything. You just have to pin a guy. Now, is it
yep.
beneficial for you that I do that? Of course it is.
Of course. Yeah.
Huge benefit for you to be reminded that you're on a full count. You have one warning and one foul. You cannot screw up.
If I mess up again, then I'm
You're
out.
done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can't go, I didn't know I had a warning. Of course you did. I told you.
Yeah, he
But
told the
I
person.
do that every time so I keep track.